Okay, all right, we're going to do the last video here for vertical shifts. The first one we did a vertical shift where we moved everything up at 1, so that meant the graph's going to level off at 1. Number 2 is going to be a shift that we bring it down. Okay, so if I identify the vertical shift here, it's -2. So what that tells me is right here at y equals -2, this is where this graph is going to level off. So it's never going to cross this line right here. So let's put that in red. And that'll factor into the range. And then let's just plug our normal points in. So if I want to plug in my normal points, again, I'll start with 0. So I'll have 1/2 to the 0, and then -2. Okay, anything raised to 0 is 1, and then 1 minus 2 is -1. So that's going to be our y-intercept there, 0, -1. Okay, then if I want to plug in 1, okay, so I have 1/2 to the 1, which is just 1/2. And 1/2 minus 2 is -1.5. Okay, then I'm going to plug in 2 for x. So I get rid of this. Okay, if I plug in 2 for x, let's see here, 1/2 squared is 1/4. And then 1/4 minus 2 is -1.75. See, this right here, you can see as you go down the list, these numbers are getting closer and closer to -2. Right? But that's where it's going to level off. Alright, let's plug these negatives in here. Let's plug -1 and -2 right in here for x. So if I plug in -1, alright, let's see here. Okay, if I plug in -1, okay, I'm going to kind of just get rid of this. Let's get rid of this right here. It won't allow me to erase it. So if I put in -1 for x, I'm going to have 1/2 to the -1 and then -2. So 1/2 to the -1, I just flip it so it becomes 2, and then 2 minus 2 is 0. Okay, then I'm going to plug -2 in for x. So when I plug -2 in for x, okay, 1/2 to the -2, if you put that in your calculator, that's just going to give you 4. And then 4 minus 2 is 2. Alright, so let's take this, let's graph these 5 points. Okay, we got -2, 2, so you go to the left 2, up 2. This is -2, 2 right there. I got -1, 0, which is right here. Then I got the y-intercept 0, -1, which is down there. And then this is where it levels off. Okay, I got 1, -1.5, so I go to the right one, down 1.5 units. Then I got 2, -1.75, I go to the right 2, down -1.75. So you can see as you go to the right, the points get closer and closer. That's where it levels off, and this is our graph. Oops. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and that's pretty much it. And then just to fill out the y-intercept, domain, and range, let's move this up. Okay, y-intercept we can see is this point right there. X has to be 0 at the y-intercept, so it's 0, -1. Domain is always -infinity to +infinity. And the range, well, the range is where you have to think a little bit. Right? This y value is -2, and it's everything above it. So I'm going from -2 all the way up to infinity. So -2 all the way up to infinity. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So again, you're relying on your XY chart, but the main thing is identify that vertical shift. That's where the exponential curve never crosses that line.